A few minutes ago, Grand Junction police said that they have obtained an arrest warrant for what went down with election clerk Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters yesterday. It is for a misdemeanor obstructing an officer. They showed up at a bagel shop to take her iPad. A judge said she'd lied about taping a court session. So this is a misdemeanor for Peters on top of what is a felony investigation involving the court. So 3 Republican clerks have now been questioned by the Secretary of State's office about potential security breaches. Peters in Mesa County, Klotz in Douglas County, and Elbert County Clerk Dallas Schroeder. Peters and Schroeder admitted to copying hard drives and sharing that with people outside the county. They said they're trying to preserve evidence of the 2020 election. Got politics guy Marshall Zellinger wondering, what could you do with a copy of a voting server?
This story is going to feel like The Matrix, because this is what you expect to see when hearing about potential computer security breaches. Republican clerks in 2 counties, Mesa and Elbert, have admitted to copying their election voting machine servers.
If you understand how the program is, because you've got your hands on it, you can then start to go, how can I manipulate it for whatever my gains are?
I reached out to Chris Roberts, a cybersecurity researcher and someone who gives presentations on cybersecurity. This part of one of his presentations on election security caught my eye. Anyone with physical access to a machine can install malicious software in less than 60 seconds.
What this does with having access to the software and controls and everything on one is now just gives you the additional insight into going, okay, I know that when you walk in and you press this button, this is exactly the set of commands that occur. This is exactly where it goes. I know if I build a program that I can adjust it.
After each election, before the results are certified, Colorado conducts what's called a risk-limiting audit. A bipartisan team looks at random ballots from each county and compares them to how the scanner counts the vote. If the machine count was off, this would reveal the discrepancy. Since this started in 2017, Colorado has never found fraud.
In our industry, in this computer security industry, we've been working and trying to work with a lot of the voting systems for a number of years, for all the reasons we're talking about now and a lot more.
One other aspect of election machine security that you can use in everyday life, password complexity. Roberts said voting machines have been found to have really easy to crack passwords. So look at this chart from one of his presentations. For a secure password that will take lifetimes to crack, you want to be in the green area. If you're only using numbers, you need 18 to get someone guessing for 126 years. Just using upper and lowercase letters, at least 12 to have 600 years of protection. And with mixed numbers, upper and lowercase letters and symbols, use at least 10, and it should take almost a millennium to crack your code. I need to do my passwords again. This story is not to scare anyone, but it's eye-opening to know what is possible when you have people in positions of power that have access to the hardware and software. Douglas County is supposedly different than Mesa and Elbert in that Douglas County's clerk does not have direct access to the hardware and software because the county is so big that access is strictly for specific elections employees and not Clerk Merlin Klotz.
When you have a situation, Marshall, where you have people like former President Trump's advisor Steve Bannon saying we're taking over these election boards, these means of elections. They say they've got these allied clerks in Colorado on the inside on elections. How confident is the state that they could tell if somebody was messing with the machines?
Based on those risk-limiting audits, if you had the physical ballot that went through a machine and you had a random sample and you compared the ballot, the paper ballot, and the computer count, if there was something funny with the computer count and you're looking at the ballot saying, wait a minute, this was supposed to have 10 for this candidate and this only shows 5, then you would know something, assuming you don't have really sophisticated people doing something with equipment. I don't want to get too technical into it, but
yeah.
We believe, based on risk-limiting audits, we would know, we hope.
Marshall, thank you.